Okay, let's go. Welcome everybody to our Risk and Improvement Committee meeting. Declare the meeting open at 2:30. Councillors are in attendance. Welcome to the staff. And there are no members of the public, and our apologies. CEO Rebecca McCall. I'd like to make everyone aware that this meeting is being recorded in accordance with the local government regulations. 3.0, disclosure of interest. Everybody disclose. That is nil. 4.0 is our public question time, which is nil. That 5, which is confirmation of the previous minutes. 5.1 is the A&R committee meeting held on the 17th of June. Officer recommendation, this be confirmed as a proceedings. Can I have someone move that, please? Adam has moved it. Seconder, Councillor Cole, thank you. All those in favour? Okay, that is carried. 6.0, we go 6.1, Audit Risk and Improvement Committee terms of reference. Well, I have a background. Sure.
Yeah, so through the chair, ahead of coming changes to the regulations that aren't technically law yet, but they're already written, we will need to have independent members for this committee. We need to rename the committee because that's prescribed in the Act. And the committee meeting now needs to be open to the public by default. So same as council, we only go, it's only private, it's behind closed doors business. So we have got a new terms of reference to basically incorporate those changes into the committee. And that's why we're doing that. So then we can subsequently bring in the independent members to the committee, because right now the terms of reference doesn't allow for it. So it's just like a technicality. We have to get us an item.
All right. Councillor Ray.
Through the chair, just at what point do we reaffirm that all councillors are on the new committee?
We will
be early yet? Or...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we'll first go down to item 6.1, and we will obviously propose an alternate motion. Yes. To 6.1, which will obviously involve the 3 points that are listed there. So the officer recommendation that Audit Risk and Improvement Committee receive and recommends that council by absolute majority adopt Audit Risk and Improvement Committee terms of reference as attached. Should I propose the? So I would like to propose an alternate motion that Audit and Risk Committee recommends that council point A, abolish the Audit Risk Committee, the existing one, establish the Audit Risk and Improvement Committee, and adopt the Audit Risk and Improvement Committee's terms of reference, which are attached. So I will call for someone to move the alternate motion. Should be myself. Someone to second that. Councillor Ray. I have no reason to speak for that. Councillor Ray, do you wish to speak for that alternate motion?
I'm happy, that's good.
Does anyone else wish to speak for or against the alternate motion? Well, then we'll go to a vote. All those in favour of the alternate motion, item 6.1, that is carried. Thank you, everybody. All right, now 6.2 is we'll close the meeting. Can someone please move that we close the meeting? Councillor Arden has moved it. Sorry, Councillor Ball has seconded it. All those in favour? The meeting is now closed to the public. Can I say that the public recording now ceases? And if I just read the resolution that the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee reopens the meeting to the public. And that the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee receives the confidential attachment 6.5. Right, well done everybody. Right, item 6.5. Ben, have you got anything to?
Yeah, through the chair. So we received all of 2 expressions of interest in relation to the independent members, which is the minimum that we need to have. So just to clarify, in case anyone else had the same misunderstanding that I did, you need to have an independent chair and then an independent deputy to the chair. Whereas first round, I thought it was an independent deputy, similar to Holly's position. So I went with that. So the independent chair has been confirmed with the person that submitted their EOI. The independent deputy, similarly with the correct understanding, they're all on board with their EOI. So both the independent members are happy to fulfill the functions that they need to fulfill. I've double checked that there's no misunderstanding in terms of who's doing what the committee does, and what its role is. So again, similar to the last item, this is getting ahead of pending legislation. So it's just meeting the requirement early that we're going to have to meet eventually.
All right, so 6.5 is the officer recommendation. I'll read the 4 points. That the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee receive the submissions received from independent persons. Recommend that council by absolute majority appoint Sir Rhonda Cole and Gina DeLewis as independent members of the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee. Recommend that council appoint by absolute majority Rhonda Cole as the chairperson of the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee, and recommend that council appoint by absolute majority Gina DeLewis as the deputy chairperson of the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee. So we would like to propose an alternate motion. Councillor Bray.
I see this as an opportunity to, with the legislation, to get, if possible, a really qualified person. Maybe won't be able to, but I'd like to give it another shot. Advertising, maybe we can attract an accountant or an auditor by going wider out, Meredith, Bruce, Rob, Corrigan, however we do that. So I would propose that we would set aside the 2 EOIs at the moment and go out again, as we did in the first place, to try and attract a person with absolute qualifications, if possible. It will probably turn out we'll have to pay a bit more or whatever, but I think it's worth it in the long run to keep the. I'm sure that's what the legislation, the changes in legislation with the government, they're trying to make it. See, when, the other thing, I'm not an auditor or an accountant, and when I sit on audit and risk, I am flying by the seat of my pants. I'm trying to learn everything. We're all business people, but, I'm trying to learn the little finer part. I just thought if we could attract a qualified person, it would be a great help. So, it's up to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Councillor Bray. I also wish to propose an alternate motion. And my alternate motion is to just simply change the wording on number 5, on number 4, that recommend the council appoint by absolute majority Gina Lewis as a deputy to the chairperson, not of the Audit and Risk Improvement Committee. And then obviously add in a section 5 that nominate the following council members as members of the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee. The councillors listed there. So that is my alternate motion. Sorry. Ben's just going to explain the process here.
So through the chair, if council wants to defeat the alternate motion, we go back to the original motion. Then Chris, as the dissent, you can either agree and defeat the original motion, in which case the application to the EOI is not accepted, or you can pass the alternate motion that the president has put forward, in which case Councillor Bray's point is made moot because you've accepted the alternate, which includes accepting the EOIs. So that makes sense? So you either have option B, which is the alternate, which you can pass, or you can revert back to option A and then defeat that. In which case, no EOIs, we go back out to market or whatever, try and find, as Councillor Bray has said, someone more directly in the financial field, I guess, is the crux or the summation of what he's saying, and go from there, basically.
All right, I will move my alternate motion. Anyone second that motion? Councillor Cusack has seconded. I've no reason to speak for it. Councillor Cusack, would you like to speak for that?
Can I?
Would anyone else like to speak against?
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Bray.
If we were to stick with the original motion, I would like to reverse the candidates. I see Gina as more steady and articulate than the other. But I mean, it's hard to pick what stays in the room. You know, what it stays in the room. It's just, I just think that Gina might be better as the chairperson in my mind. I would like to reverse that role. The chairman, Gina for chairman, and Ron for the deputy back.
Thank you, Councillor Bray. Would anyone else like to speak either for or against? Okay, we'll go to the vote. Are we all clear with the motion that's been put forward? That it is. So that is points 1, 2 and 3 remain the same. Point 4 is that Gina DeLewis as your deputy to the chairperson of the audit committee. So it's just a wording change. And so that would be Rhonda Cole as a chairperson, Gina DeLewis as a deputy to the chairperson, and then the committee consisting of the 7 councillors. All those in favour? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, and Councillor Ball, you let it vote. That is 6. 6. All those against? 6 to 1. That is carried. Thank you, Council. Six point six, interim audit results. Once again, Ben, can I throw to you to give a little bit of background on this, please?
Absolutely. So through the chair, I believe this was discussed at least briefly with council before. Obviously, you're all aware that we've been waiting on the interim results due to what turned out to be staffing issues. The contract auditors weren't able to get it up to OHE for, I think, 2 months. They were 2 months later than they should have been. So we did eventually go through everything, but there's no findings, so there's no letter as such. So the attachment is just the email from the contract auditor telling me that, which is a good outcome, I guess, because, you know, they found nothing in what they looked at. And just for clarification, they looked specifically at profit and loss accounts. So for all intents and purposes, that's the easy one, the minor one, compared to looking at all the balance sheets, which is where all your accounting assumptions and everything are. But still a good outcome because they tested large procurement and found nothing. So all we are doing here, I guess, is just a procedural recognition that the interim audit has been completed and that there were no findings.
Thank you, Ben. Recommendation 6.6, that the Audit and Risk and Improvement Committee note the outcome of the 2025 interim audit. Someone to move that, please. Councillor Ball, seconded by Councillor Curry. All those in favour? That is carried. Thank you. 6.7 is the quarterly report on the dashboard. We shall go, actually, I'll put that out to council for any questions, queries or clarity required. Obviously, it's in your attachments. Is there anything in there that you would like some clarity on, or please explain from the administration?
Sorry, through the chair. I did just wonder, page, actually it's 53, the last page. So obviously there's a couple that we've got inadequate, so we're working to obviously make them adequate. But so the event management framework, so not documented, so we're starting to progress that. Like the rest of them have documenting, like we're actually in the process of doing something, but that one's got that we're not.
So through the chair, yes, we've identified that that doesn't exist and we need it,
Okay.
but nothing's been done on it yet.
Right.
So just in the interest of being complete, I've put it there, but
Yeah.
I guess I just didn't know what to put because nothing's been done on it. It's just been identified, so I put not documented.
Yeah. Okay. So it's obviously.
It's it's been assigned. It's somebody's KPI at the moment.
Yeah. Okay.
So if I could also ask a question, the building maintenance program has come up as inadequate a couple of times. What is the outlet for that?
So through the chair, council will recall the CEO showed council the remember that smart sheets demonstration with all the properties and their appraisals and all that? Where we want that to get is, say, a whole bunch of assessments that then feed into the budget, in essence, is the final product. So we say, I don't know, paint is done every 10 years, carpet is done every, whatever, arbitrary numbers that we have for building maintenance renewals. The property is going to be on hand for however long before we drop it off and build a new one, all that sort of stuff. So then that document will just drop out into the budget with capital works and maintenance. At the moment, we still have a lot of rubbery figures in maintenance. So it's progressed significantly, but it's still quite far away from the final form that we're looking for. So that's why that's still noted as inadequate. So we have a lot of groundwork done, but now it's the nitty gritty of, rating the paint in each house and how many square meters that is, what we say that's going to cost. So we can just drop out a budget, as I say. So that's quite detailed. I'm going to probably take this financial year, I would think.
Any other questions before we move to accept that? 6.7, audit. Received the dashboard quarterly report, someone to move that. Councillor Cusack moved it, and a seconder. Councillor Cole, thank you. All those in favour? That is carried. There is 7.0 is other business, which there is nil unless anybody has anything they'd like to raise. I declare the meeting closed at 2:49. Thank you, councillors, for